Okay, so tonight I'm going to be talking to you guys about organization, ways to organize your business, and just some ideas and tips around it. So before we start out, just a few recognition. Let me pull it up because it was way too much for me to all remember. So nice job on that. As Grandma's crying. Hold on. You'd think I'd be better prepared, you guys. Sorry. Okay. So Ariel is at Success Club 11. Tiffany signed her first coach and hit Success Club 2. Nice job. Rhiannon is at Success Club 2. Ben is at Success Club 2 with a new coach sign up. Dana is at Success Club 2. Serena signed her first teammate and is at Success Club 2. And Ashley helped her very first person get started on their fitness journey and is at Success Club 2. So that is awesome for everything that happened this week. You guys, you still, if you are pushing for Success Club, you still have time, actually. You still have 3.5 more hours to really have Success Club points count. So if you are still talking to people and you're still really pushing for this month, you definitely still have the time to do it. A few reminders. Archer, you have to be quiet if you're going to sit here. The 21-day yoga retreat is in Beachbody On Demand. It was uploaded in there today. I've already seen it. My Beachbody On Demand was quite spotty this morning, I believe, because of it. It made me a little angry, but it's in. So it's good. You can do it. Health Bet starts on Monday. If you are not doing it, talk to your coach because you might as well get used to the Challenge Tracker app if you haven't used it before, and get a portion of this cash pot for just being consistent with your fitness and nutrition. So even if you don't have any participants doing the Health Bet, you for sure should be a part of it. And the surge is happening tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you don't know what the surge is, this is something that happens twice a year. Carl does it. It's 90 minutes long. It's streamed online. They are specifically tailoring it around new coaches this year. He's going to be talking about the vital behaviors. They usually have a few of the top coaches get on and talk too. And he's also going to be taking live questions. So that's something you need to look for because they'll have where you can submit your questions for him to ask. If you can't get on it live, that will be recorded. But I definitely recommend getting on there. Okay, so now let me close this chat. Now to get to the training. So everything I'm going to tell you is just a suggestion. And I am suggesting these things because they have worked for me. I tend to be incredibly organized because that's just how my life has to work. But I feel like that's what helps keep my business going because even if I have some inconsistency, I have systems to fall back on. And that's what you really need in this business is systems, however they work for you. But some of the things you want to consider organizing are your power hour, your tracking, your monthly planning, and your posts. So those are just a few things you may want to consider organizing. And then I'm going to talk to you and show you different ways for each of those things. So first with your power hour. If you don't know what a power hour is yet, your power hour is partly where you're getting your vital behaviors done and you're really moving your business forward. Your power hour is more than just your vital behaviors though, and kind of also depending on what you have time for is what you're including in there. It could be a solid hour. It could be pockets of time where it's 15 or 20 minutes in your day that you're working. However that looks for you though, I really recommend that you're working from a to-do list to do that. So there are many options for a to-do list, and I'm going to screen share and I'm going to show you some. So just a second, let me hop on here. Okay, so you guys should be seeing, this is my personal to-do list. You won't find this anywhere else but right here on screen with you. So what I have done is I do things in excess or in the power of my business. So I'm a 1-star diamond coach and I try to do things at that level to move my business forward. I'm not expecting that you are doing 10 invitations a day or talking to 2 people about the business a day. You can literally just be doing a power of 3. But this is what my to-do list looks like. Some of these things are relevant only to me. I have a different to-do list for every single day, depending on what I need to do and what reminder I need. So that, Archer, stop. Now, color on the easel. On the easel, not on the floor. Thank you. So that is just what I have on there. I really suggest that you don't put every single thing on your to-do list just to mark something off. Like there's some things on here like log my workout I really need to take off because that's just a few seconds of my life that I'm wasting there. Some other things, there is what's called a business activity tracker. You can find this in your back office. This is from Beachbody. I used this for probably the first year that I was in business. And sometimes I still go back to this because I feel like the business activity tracker, the BAT, is very numbers driven, and sometimes that helps. So you are like setting your goal of how many times you're going to drink Shakeology, how many minutes maybe a day, or how many pages you're going to read, that you're checking in, how many posts you're going to do, your contacts, your invitation. I just feel like this is a very, very good power hour breakdown if you're a new coach. And so I think the business activity tracker is a really nice thing to use as a new coach. There is also a power of 3 out there and a power of 4. I would actually bet that your coach has it uploaded into your team page, but if not, just ask or Google it. Like you can find everything in this business if you Google it, and you can actually find a training to go with that piece of tracking if you Google it. So if you're looking for a way to track your hour or power hour or how to work from it, these are all some really good things to do. Let me stop screen sharing here for a minute. The other thing that you want to do is you want to plan when you're working. So you should schedule your business hour or your business times or whatever that may be daily. And the reason why you want to do that is just like your workout. If you don't schedule your business hour, it gets to be bedtime and you forgot that you didn't invite anybody today. And how do I know that? Because that's what I do. If I don't schedule my time and stick to my business time. Now, maybe you have a few days in a week where you can't really work. You're so busy. And it just doesn't work to get anything in but maybe posting. This is really what my life looks like during wrestling season. So I don't work very much on the weekends. But then I make sure that, like Mondays or Wednesdays, because we have our team call, I work almost all of my Wednesday evening, and I am powering through, and I will get 2 or 3 power hours done on a Wednesday because I know, maybe that next Saturday I don't have the time. But I've scheduled it, and I've scheduled it in. And frankly, you guys, if you're going to be serious about this business, you schedule it like your job and you stick to it. And when other things come up, you say, nope, I already have something scheduled this time. That's not to say you're never going to hang out with your friends again or have a barbecue or watch a TV show. But I will tell you, my life went from probably watching 5 hours of TV in the evening to I'm lucky if I get 30 minutes in a day. And I'm usually 7 or 8 or 10 days behind on Big Brother. So don't ever spoil that for me. Just like the Olympics, one of my friends posted on one of the races and I was 2 days behind on that race and I was a little upset. So just something to keep in mind. Like, you don't have to give it up forever, but if you're really trying to move and push your business, you want to look at your priorities and what extra fluff you can cut out. And scheduling those business time helps you justify why you're doing what you're doing. And like I said, you can also break it down into pockets of tasks. When I know Ariel's a great example of when she was teaching full time, she used her first 15-minute break to, like answer messages, and her next break to do personal development or to do some invitations. Like she had it all broken down. So any break that came up, she was just working on her business, and then she didn't have to go home and try to fit in 7 hours of work at night. And you guys, honestly, this business can be done in an hour a day. I worked an hour a day, probably over my first year of the business. Now I'm at the point where I try to get in 2 to 3 hours a day, but when I'm pressed for time, an hour gets it done, gets those vital behaviors and those invitations and those messages done. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now for your tracking. There are many, many, many ways to track, and you're going to have to figure out what system works for you. You can do pen and paper. You can do electronic. You can do Asana is one of the electronic versions that you can use, or Teamzy, Teamzy. It was actually created by Beachbody coaches, and that is a version of tracking that you can use. Those are subscription costs, but if you have trouble getting organized, I suggest you check some of these out because it will help keep you on track, and it's a pretty low monthly fee. So those are some of the things that you can check out and do. Frankly, I'm cheap because I'm getting out of debt, so I don't allocate any of my budget to anything else but what I do. And I use a combination of electronic and paper because I keep a paper calendar. I have a year calendar, and I track some things in there. But I'm going to show you guys again an example of my tracking so that you can see it. And you can track if you can do Google Docs or you can do OneDrive. I do OneDrive because I have Hotmail, and that's where my electronic tracking comes in. So as you can see, this is my online base. So it has everything in here because then no matter what computer I'm on, or if I'm on my phone, I can access my things. So I have like my open house in here, my coach open house. I have different videos in here, pictures, trainings, templates. I truthfully don't use a lot of templates anymore, but I still keep those in here. If I see a really good challenge group post from someone else, I copy it and I throw it in a document. So when I'm starving for ideas at another time, that's what I do. But I keep my tracking book down here. Sorry, I thought I had it open actually. So let me pull that up. This is actually an Excel, a Microsoft Excel document. And let me have the bottom load here. So I have a different tab for every single month. And I do a lot of things. Like I keep my free group participants in here because those are people that I want to form with throughout the year, because they've already shown me they have an interest in what I'm doing. So why not eventually get them hooked up with the program? I keep potential I'll have to look at what that one is. I often switch my tabs too as I streamline my system. I have my dream team coaches on here. So when I meet someone, or just as I'm talking with my friends and I'm like, oh my God, this person would be such a great coach, I throw them on my dream team coach list because those are the people I'm going to form and connect with. Anybody that's talked to me about coaching goes on an interested coaches list because these are my lists of 100. I have more than lists of 100 though now because I've been doing this long enough. So that's how I break it down. But then I have my months, and this goes all the way back to September of 2014 is how long this goes back. So this is August, which now tomorrow I'll obviously start a new one of September 2016. And let me go up to the top. So as you can see, I had almost 200 invites in August. Yeah, I was doing good. But up here on top, I have my network ads, my invites, my business opportunities, and then these are some other notes for me. That's why they're blank. I'm going to tell you guys though, I have now found in my system where I'm back to limited time. About halfway through August, I stopped tracking my network ads as far as names because I wasn't doing anything with that. I knew I wanted to add 10 people to my network every single day, and I categorize people in lists on Facebook, which is a whole nother training that Ariel has done. But I just make notes on my to-do list that yes, I added 10 people because that was saving me time. However, you feel free to add those people that you have added to your network because you might want to know where or when you talk to them or who referred them to you or things like that. So just keep those things in mind. But then I have my invites on here. So once I've invited someone, I talk to them. And then I'm a color-coded system. So yellow means yes, they've shown interest. Gray means they either said no, don't follow up with me anymore, or they have a coach. Because once they've done that, like they're off my invite list. The reason why I keep these is because I go back to these people for years. I'm going to tell you right now, this girl on top, Ivy Smith, I have invited her for 8 months running now. And 8 months running now, she has told me she is interested. And 8 months running now, she participates in a free group with me. I'm going to eventually get her. I'm actually hoping tonight. She allegedly said she's going to order tonight. But that's the power of this business. She has stayed on this invite list for me for 8 months. Red is a follow-up later for me. So these people that I haven't talked to, kind of what I do also at the first of the next month is I go back through and I look, because inevitably I've missed someone. So like this one needs to be a red. And then I go down and I just kind of see who I'm talking to and where I need to follow up with. But unless they go gray, you guys, all of these people will get a message again until they turn green. I don't know if I highlight. Yep, see, there's a green. Green means they bought. They are committed. They are in. They are my client for life now. So that's how I approach that. So until they turn green, they get a message from me and I check in with them and see how they are doing. So that is my online tracker. You can definitely do the Power of 3 tracker on paper. Sorry, Grandma's like dying to go to sleep here. And you can also just do a notebook. I have a notebook back here that I keep. That was my first notebook that I used for my first 6 months. So I still keep that because I still go back to it. When I don't have somebody to invite, when I don't have somebody to form, I go back into that notebook. And some of those people get highlighted because they become a customer of mine. So that's just something to keep in mind with your tracking, is it needs to be something accessible and for you to do it all the time. The other reason why I switched to electronic is because I would work during my break at work too. So instead of having to carry extra things in there or not be able to track, I would just pull up my OneDrive online and I would work in my OneDrive for my, 15 or 20 minutes, whatever I had. So that is tracking. And you also want to put down, this is another reason why I use the paper version, because I have a month and a week breakdown. LP is like page. CH was country heat. I designate also if I have a certain program, because once a program comes on sale, I go through my months and I search and find CH. So if country heat goes on sale in 6 months, I go back through from when it came out for everyone that told me they were interested specifically in that program. And I send them a message and say, hey, I know we talked about country heat in the past. By the way, I wanted to let you know it's, $20 off. That's not how I actually say the message, but those are the people that I want to make sure I get back in touch with and possibly invite to an event. But like page, usually I put that in there so that I know I probably need to friend request them. But okay, so I'm going to show you guys this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very well, but this is my monthly calendar. I have a month breakdown and then I have a week. But over here, those are little names written right there. Those are all the people that I need to follow up with in August. So what happens when I'm talking to someone and they tell me, not right now, because we know it's never a no, and I say, okay, great, can I follow up with you in a few months? And they say yes. I go write them down in my calendar so I don't forget, because the magic is in the follow-up. If you say, okay, I'm going to follow up with you in a few months, and then you never do, guess what? Another coach does, and they become that coach's customer. So just keep that in mind. You want to follow up. But those are the first people I work through at the beginning of my month. So that's usually a few invitations for a couple of days right off the bat that I don't have to worry about. By the way, inviting to me is the most painful thing ever. So if I already have a list of people that I have to invite to, it makes it much easier. I don't have to struggle and search and look for my 10 people. If inviting is your jam, fantastic. More power to you. We all have our strengths and our struggles in this business. And yes, 2.5 years later, I still don't love to invite people. That's why I love doing hook posts, because again, those are people that liked and commented on it that I don't have to go search for, and I can just send them a message. That's why it's important to have good posting, by the way. And I also put down on my monthly list when someone says, yes, I'm going to order next Friday, I go and write that down on my calendar so I can follow up with them on Saturday and say, hey, did you get your order put in? Because otherwise people forget, or they randomly order on the Beachbody site instead of through you, or the email didn't go through, or something like that. And that way you can follow up and make sure that you are connecting those people if they are wanting to work with you. Now, your monthly planning. Another reason why I use my big monthly sheet. I plan out at the beginning of every month when my free group is running, when my challenge group is running, when my coaching events are running. I want to have something to invite people to every single week. You heard Nikki say that last week. My one difference is I plan 2 weeks for challenge groups, because it takes a while to really go through someone's goals and the process and where they want to be involved. Graham, you can't fall asleep. Let's turn this way. I know. it takes time to get through that. So I don't want to put all that pressure on myself that I have to get all my challenge group people locked in a week. Now, don't get me wrong either. I'm inviting to a challenge group. I'm probably inviting some people every single day to my challenge group, but specifically for 2 weeks, that's what I'm focusing on. And specifically at the end of a month, I'm focusing on inviting people to my free groups or to wherever is coming up. So I want to make sure that I'm able to get invitations out every single week and have it be natural, because I naturally have these groups occurring. And you can always invite to your uplines groups. But I'm telling you right now, if you have been a consistent business building coach for 3 months, I'm going to encourage you to step out on your own. The reason why, when you run your own groups, you have a little bit more ownership. You want to see these people succeed because these people are directly connected to you, right? It's not just the 1 or 2 people that you've invited into your upline coach groups. Do you see him? Dead baby. Dead baby. Come on, wake up. He's out. See that, you guys? Man, when we have a bedtime, we stick to it. But you want to take that ownership and you want to say, like, this is my group. I'm going to post in it daily. I'm going to make it rock because these are my friends. These are the people I know, and these are the people that are participating in it. So I really encourage you after the 3 months to connect to your own groups and run your own groups and just take that responsibility on for yourself. I'm not saying you can't if you don't feel comfortable after that point. Keep being a part of your uplines group if that's where you're at. But I would just encourage you to take that next step and to really be a part of it. And the other thing that I encourage you to really plan and track in your groups is your posts. So I put down when I'm going to hook in a week and when I'm going to jab. And I just look at my calendar with that, and then I know, like, that has to be one of my posts for today. I know, buddy. I know. You're all right. That's just one of my posts for that day. Or if I haven't gotten it done yet in the week, then I don't let my week go by and not do it. You can also take your 5 to 7 things that we tell you guys to post about and to be about you, and you can track them out in your calendar. And then you know you're rotating through and you're not always posting the exact same thing. So that I used to do that a lot when I would struggle with what to post and when to post it, and to make sure I wasn't repeating things too often. So that is pretty much all I have. Does anybody have any questions about organization or really anything else? Going once? Going twice? All right. All right, you guys. Well, that's all I had. I will get the recording to everybody, and it will be in your guys' team pages. But otherwise, thanks for hopping on and spending the time, and I hope you guys found this helpful, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.